A new bill in Congress would abolish the IRS, eliminate the national income tax, and replace it with the national consumption tax. Another option is a flat tax. Here to break it all down, former Trump senior economic advisor, author of Trumponomics, and the co-founder Committee to Unleash Prosperity, Stephen Moore. Stephen, let's get right to what you think could actually happen, because I always like talking about the flat tax. I don't believe Americans are going to go for a VAT tax, you know, value added. I just don't think we think that way. But the conversation about getting rid of the IRS gets everybody's attention.
Look, this tax system is a total disgrace to the country. It is costing us incredible amount of economic growth. It is a millstone around the neck of the economy. And just imagine for a moment we could actually get rid of the income tax and just pay taxes like sales taxes. You know, there are 9 states that do that, as you guys know. And guess what? Those states are the ones that have the fastest rate of economic growth. So
yeah,
why don't we try to do that nationally?
Yeah,
now,
people are moving there, Stephen.
I like your idea of the flat tax. You know, Steve Forbes is my mentor.
Yeah.
He introduced that idea in 1996. And my gosh, think about this. If we wouldn't have to double the size of the IRS. We could cut it in half. People could fill out their tax forms in less than an hour. You would have the lowest tax rates in the world. It would be simple. It would be understandable. People would voluntarily comply with the tax system, and we would just suck capital from the rest of the world. What's not to like? Yeah,
well, here's the criticism. It's not fair to lower income people. You get the same on the sales tax idea, the VAT tax. But what the suggestion is from Mr. Forbes is that you make it a flat tax around 17%, 19%, and you give a certain level of income, they don't have to pay any income tax. So why not have that conversation?
But we've been trying to for 30 years. I mean, this
is now a better time, though. Do you think people are more ready for it?
This is why I really applaud what Speaker McCarthy did with this vote of talking about really radical reform of our tax system. I mean, there must be a better way to do this. Basically, Biden's saying to comply with this tax system, we have to have 150,000 people, 150,000 IRS agents. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. By the way, if you call up the IRS helpline, good luck getting any help. Nobody understands it. If you want, you know, when Trump ran for president, he ran against the swamp in Washington. You really want to drain the swamp, get rid of the IRS tax code and put in something that's really simple. I mean, our economy would burst with growth. We wouldn't be running $1.5 trillion deficit a year.
Right.
And we can put a lot of, you know, and now it's true, we'd have to put a lot of accountants and tax lawyers out of business, but they could find other jobs.
Yeah. Do you think this will actually gain some traction for the next election? Because I feel like that's what the Republican Party is trying to do, is have this conversation. And there are a lot of Americans that want it. They sure don't want 87,000 more IRS agents.
You know, we've got an economy that's been in a funk now for a number of years. It's not growing. We're not getting the jobs we need. Incomes are falling behind. I think when Americans understand that a big part of the problem with the American economy, and there are a lot of problems in Washington, obviously one of them is the $1.5 trillion a year that we borrow and a $6 trillion unconscionable budget. But the other part is how we collect our taxes. It could be so much simpler. It could be so much, you know, it takes my wife and I 3 weeks out of the year to figure out how much taxes we owe. We don't even know if we paid what we owe because we don't understand it.
Right. It's crazy. I mean, and state taxes are bad too, where you have to pay them in places like New York, for instance. It's insane. That's why, getting back to the original concept, get rid of the income taxes like places like Texas and Tennessee and Florida. Gee, I wonder why everybody's moving there, right?
Yeah. Okay. Don't forget, there are those 9 states, including Texas, Florida, Tennessee, New Hampshire, Washington State, no income tax. Why is it that they boom in the states like New York and my home state of Illinois and Connecticut and New Jersey and California are falling behind? Maybe it's because the tax system is so much better in those states.
Maybe. Stephen Moore, thank you so much.
Okay. Have a great week. Take care.
You too.